it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and I have just a very quick, down and dirty, tiny review for you guys. I'm going to try to make this one super quick, although I can talk about pens and pen pouches for a really long time, like a surprisingly long amount of time. So I had to look it up. There are so many different pen pouches and clutches and tote bags and all these things on the ERIN CONDREN website. This one is called the Ultimate Pencil Case, and I did pick out the Bold Blooms color design. So these ones are really cool because they are like sublimation printed on here, and it's really neat because they can change the design. You can get your name customized on it, and then you also pick your color. So there are 3 different color options. I'm on the website because I had to look up the name, but there are 3 different customization options for the outside of your container. There is the blush, which I'm showing, the slate blue, which is kind of like a grayish blue, but it's like a steely kind of gray, and then black. So you have that option to change out the container, and then this is screen printed on the front section or sublimation printed. So this part was actually white. If you can see the white underneath, and then they print this design on the front, which is super awesome. So they custom make these. I went to their facilities and watched the printing on the tote bag. So anything you order that's going to be customized like this, like a zip folio or the Ultimate Pencil Case, anything like this, like tote bags, they do this in-house. So I physically saw workers in their facilities doing these. So they are handmade, and it's so cool that you get to customize it. So I've got my name on there, and then you just pick whatever color on the outside. So this thing, as you can see, is kind of a brick. I loaded it down and I pushed it to its maximum capacity, maximum abilities, and I am so happy with how this one works. I'll be honest, I haven't really used this side very much. I just stored all my stuff in it. As far as functionality goes, I just put a bunch of stuff in it, but the top part is so functional. I just leave this part either like half zipped like this or all the way unzipped, and then I have my most used items with me at all times. No matter what planners I'm using, what planners I have nearby, I have this, and it's like my daily pen. So I have my 2 fountain ink pens, a black pen, which right now I'm using a Uniball One. It happens to be my favorite right now. I also have a highlighter, which is one of the EC new ones. I also have a dot pen, and I also have a brush pen. So these are like my most used. If I only had my very limited number of pens, these would be it. And I change the colors out. So I'll change out my dot pen, my highlighter, my brush pen. I'll change out my colorful ones on a day-to-day basis. Like I've got a highlighter, a dot pen, and a brush pen that I will change out just depending on what I'm using. Right now I'm in a daily duo, which I've got to grab. I was filming lots of things this morning, so it's in a pile, but I've been using this daily duo. I don't have today's page set up, so I'll just hop to like an empty page. So I will get my daily duo ready to go, and I will change my pens depending on whatever stickers I already have decorated this with. So I'll show you like previous pages. I changed the highlighting streaks, changed out dot pens, and on a day-to-day basis, that changes. You can see I've been really loving the daily duo and being able to change out my colors, and I just put them in here. I've tested this out now. I think I'm going into my 2nd or 3rd week using this, and I just love this. I can have this out and change out my things and always have my pens with me. Whereas if I'm just having my planner, I'll have like 1 pen coiled to it. I won't have my dot pen with me because the dot pen doesn't have a clip on it, and I will just lose some functionality. Whereas if I can have this with me, I can do whatever I need to in any planner at any time, just with the top little section here pretty much. So I have loved this top section so much, just having the pens right there at the ready. And then this bottom section worked great for when I was goal planning today. I set up my goals for the week. It just flips down. So one of the things you have to note is if this is not very full, this is not going to stand upright like this and flip down for you. It's just something that you have to have it pretty much full, maybe not quite as full as I have it. It's like bursting at the seams, but it has to be pretty full if it's going to stand upright and be very functional. If you just have a few things in it, I actually had 18 pens and highlighters in here because I had all of the Moxie dot pens and I had all of the Moxie highlighters. So there's 9 of each of these. So 18 pens in here, and it was still flopping around like it's leaning and stuff now. So I had to put even more stuff in here and make it work. So there are tons of things in here, and I have some kind of chunky monkey things. So if I didn't have those chunky things, I could even fit more actual pens in here. So I have it chocked full so it stands upright, and then you can just grab what you need out of here. So as far as like giant fat chunky things. I have a whiteout and a giant focused highlighter in here. This is Stella's color coding color. So I have this big fat one in here, but you can even fit more pens. So I'm just gonna grab pens and we're gonna max this thing out. Make sure I can still zip it up, but I wanna see really just how many normal size pens go in here. Actually, there's tweezers in here too. I'm gonna take the tweezers out, but that just makes it more functional for me to have these chunky things in there. But I think I could probably squeeze in another one or two. I'm really just trying to max it out to see what we can do, because I love that you can have that many things with you. Of course, it's gonna be harder to zip. Let's see if I can get it actually zipped. Oh, you know what? We might have to remove one. Okay. I'm like barely able to zip it. It is very chunky. It will still sit pretty flat, although if you do pump it full of things, you do get a rounded bottom on there. So it is a little bit rounded, but it would still sit. So let's see how many I actually was able to fit in there. And I think it's so functional. Like, look, you could have all the colors of the rainbow in your pouch. It does sit upright. It's just really cool. I really like the functionality of this one. But let's count how many pens I actually got in here, guys. This is insane, actually, how many fit. Okay, so that was everything. Let's count them up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So I got 37 pens in there. So I would say easily 35 pens if you want to be able to zip it easier. I was having a little trouble actually zipping it up. Let's just say 35 pens. So I'll leave 2 out and see if we can still get it zipped up. That's a lot of pens, guys. If you want like tons of pens with you, this is a great option. Let's see if we can get these last few in and still zip it up. So it was a little tricky at 37. It's still a little bit tight to zip up at 35. It still sits a little bit bowed out, but easily, like, you know, 30, 35 pens in here, no problem. And then you have all your rainbow colored pens. Like, okay, I'm a pen addict. I have tons and tons of pens. I don't know that most people have that many. You could fit pretty much like a whole collection of pens in here if you have a normal amount of pens. I know a lot of us don't, so it would be helpful for us to have multiples of these to hold everything. But like, just think if I'm throwing this in a suitcase and traveling, I could have every color of the rainbow with me. I just think it's a great option. Now, as far as this holding your phone, I think it's kind of clunky and weird, especially if you fill it up. Like, I would not use that as a phone easel. I just wouldn't. If I'm like trying to watch a video or something, I'm not gonna have this sitting out with my phone on it. I think it's a nice idea, but in practical use, like, it doesn't sit very, very like triangular when it's full of pens. And then if you take pens out, this gets floppier. I don't anticipate leaving it like half full and floppy to try to get my phone to sit at a better angle. I just don't love that. I wouldn't use it like that at all. I would just use it for like the ultimate pen holding folio and stuff all my pens in there and be able to have tons and tons of pens with me everywhere I go. It's like, that's nice. It's full of pens, but the real showstopper for me is this top little section where I can have my daily arsenal with me and just have it here. And it's so functional and helpful to have those pens at the ready so I can dot pen or highlight anything I need. Oops, I got it stuck on the clip. I had the clip turned. So, oops, I'll make sure I don't do that. But I think it's great. I think it's awesome that they have lots of different designs. You can also customize it with your name, which is a great touch. I love being able to put my name on everything. But yeah, I think that's just so cool that you can have all your pins at the ready and zip them up. I'm not a huge fan of those like telescoping ones because it's just not nearly as cute. Like, this one's super cute, like functional and cute. It's just great. So yeah, it holds a ton. There is some functionality built in, and now I did have one of my dot pens not capped. I didn't realize I had transferred it over into here without the cap on it. So I do have some ink in the bottom of there, but it didn't actually bleed through all the canvas, which was really lucky. There's like 2 little teeny tiny dots. And I don't know if you could like throw this in a washing machine or what, but it is like canvas material. I have a feeling it might mess up because of this like rigid part, but I would totally possibly try to clean that out a little bit if it bled through all the way, but you can see those dots down in the bottom where I had that dot pin just sitting there. There's just a little bit of color on the front, but otherwise it blends in well. And then when it's empty, like that's the thing, when it's empty, it's all floppy and all over the place. So I don't love it when it's just empty, even though I could still use it for the top section. I would definitely want to fill up the bottom section so it sits nice and pretty and stiff. So it's very floppy now that it's empty. So that's just something to note. You do have to have it pretty full to keep this part flat when you're holding it upright. Otherwise, it's just kind of not going to sit up very well for you. Overall, this is one of my favorite pen cases that they have offered. I've tried so many of their pen cases. I do also love the Ultimate Planning Packs. I think they're super cute and helpful, and I do travel with these. I love that they can elastic band around planners and things, but I love the functionality of this little section. Like, this is just golden for me to have those pens at the ready all the time, and they all have their own little teeny tiny spot. You can just pull them in and out and put them right back when you're done with them, and then I can change them out from day to day. Certain ones stay in the rotation, like these 3 stay, and then these 3 change colors, and I love that. So I would totally recommend getting one of these if you want something that straps around your planner. Obviously the planning pack is the way to go, but I just carry this around the house with me. Like, everywhere I go, I have this and a planner with me at all times pretty much in the house. I was just gonna wrap up this video and I was like, wow, you know, 35 pens in one pencil case is pretty awesome considering it has such a small footprint. It is like a brick, like it gets thick this way, but as far as like the profile of it, it's quite small. But I was thinking, oh, you know, I actually got 37 pens in it, and then there's 6 on the top, so you could easily get 40 pens in this, you know, like 35-ish on the bottom plus the 6 on top. That would get you over 40 pens in one pencil case, which is crazy. That's so much as far as like the size of it. A lot of bigger storage pencil cases are just very wide profile, whereas this one just sits, you know, this big, which is really cute and fun. I hope you guys like to look at this ultimate pencil case. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me along. I've got affiliate links down below for you guys if you are interested in anything you saw. And that is it for today. I hope you guys have a great day, happy planning, and I will catch you next time. Bye.